Hello, hello, hello. Y'all, it's been a minute, but we're going to get started. I'm just sending out the invite to a few more book patrons so that we can do a live reading this morning. Should be fun. Hopefully, everybody is doing well. Grand Rising. Hi, Grand Rising, Naima. Um, reading this morning from the novel Should Have Known Better. I don't know if you had a chance to start reading yet, but I'm going to be doing a live reading in a few more moments. I'm just sending out the invite to a few more book patrons because um, only book patrons should be receiving this link, this message. So I am, yeah, just sending out the invite to making sure that our patrons are getting in here and we are going to get started. But prayerfully, your morning is going well. This is the first thing I'm doing this morning. I am getting my prayer book, you know, going. I do my worship in the morning, but this is um, definitely is a form, with giving thanks to the day, um, with this opportunity. Hey, Jose, woo, you're in here. Oh, so awesome! Because listen, I want to make sure that only my patrons that have copped the novel are receiving this link. So that's why I'm waiting a little longer to get started, y'all. So thank y'all so much for getting in here. Thank you. Yeah, so thanks for asking, Naima. So I'm just waiting for a few more people to confirm that they've received the link, and then we're going to get started. We're doing the reading. We're still in chapter one, y'all. So I don't know if any of you have had the chance to, to read along or started the novel. But yeah, just waiting for a few more people to get in, and we're going to start the reading. And this is also a good time, I'd like to add, if anyone has any questions regarding the novel, you can always feel free reading. No, Jose, you did not miss. You did not miss a reading. We didn't do a reading last week. We did not do a reading last week. So I was trying to figure out how to make sure that only my patrons were getting in, because when I tried to make it private, no one could see it. No one could see it. Like, only, I could see it. I could see it, of course, because I arranged it, but no one else could see it. And I didn't know. And so I thought that, people got the link, but I didn't find out that people didn't get the link until I had already made a recording. And so I was like, instead of just making another recording, I'm going to do the reading first and then use the link from that to just send it out to other people that did not attend the reading. Does that make sense? So yeah, you caught the first one. Absolutely. You caught the first one. Oh, no, no, no. I've done two. So you have missed one. I've done two. I just didn't do one last week. Well, I did it. I did one, but it didn't record. It wasn't like this. It was recording, and I thought that I could take that link and send it out, but I couldn't. So what I have to do is make the live first, and then I can take that link and make it private and send it out. So I do the live. What I'll do is I'll do the live, and then you all will attend, of course, and you'll hear it. Um, but from that, after I end the broadcast, then I'll take that link and I'll be able to send it out. But I couldn't send out a private link. It's just weird. It's just weird. Hey, salute, sir. I know that you haven't copped the novel, but you probably got this because you're a moderator. So this makes sense. So, sir, I'm just testing something out. This reading this morning is, for because I'm trying to make the readings private, so that way not everyone has access to the live reading for my novel. Should have known better. So I'm just testing it out this morning. So thank you for being a part of I guess, the guinea pig experiment. Okay. So I'm want to get started. Just let me, I'm communicating through my email, just trying to make sure that a few more people are reaching this, that I sent out the announcement to. So I couldn't send out the link because of course they'd be backstage with me, but to send out the announcement is I want to make sure that the people who signed up, so to speak, are getting it. Okay, one moment. didn't catch it that the novel. I mean, everyone that copped the novel. Excuse me, I'm going back to my Philly terms. Um, no, I want you definitely to stay. Okay, so if you're in here, please throw up your glower because I see we have some lurkers. Please throw up your glower because I'm literally wanting to make sure that people are the patrons are getting the links. So I see we have a couple of more people coming in. But remember, I'm on StreamYard, so they're just let me know by throwing up a glower. I mean, I know that some of the scenes from the novel are not rated PG, but everyone is over 18. So I don't know what y'all were talking about. They just told us to scram. I don't know what y'all were talking about. I guess it may be a side conversation, but no, everyone is welcome to stay. If you are a moderate, I said the people that didn't cop the novel, Jose, you did, you did. So, but I said, sir might have not because I know he didn't get the novel, but because he's a moderator, he got the notice. He got the notice. So thank you. Thank you guys for throwing up your glowers. One more moment. Ooh, this is going to be a fun one this morning. Sir Senior, please don't play around like that. Because I actually, you know what, I was sad to Trump Train, told me that he's 14, and he's been great. Like on these lives, he's always participating. He's super funny, very witty. I'm subscribed to his channel, and be on here. I say you're a year older than my daughter. Don't be playing with me like that, telling me you're 12, because I had to tell him that, I told him that I wanted to have a talk with his mom, actually, or his parents, before he could come, back and participate in the chats. Because I don't do, um, I don't think it's like raunchy stuff, or it's not inappropriate. I want his parents to know, what type of conversations, we're involved in. You know what I mean? So, I just don't want them to be, I don't want them to be like, oh, he's over there listening to this. Because 11-year-old. So I just think I would be pretty kind of surprised a bit if I found out that they were like, well, actually, not even I found out. My kids actually do go on some pretty interesting channels that I just don't think I would have been interested in at their age. They're, I'm like, okay, so they'll show me some of these, YouTubers they're into, and it's more so my daughter than my son. My son is like all animated out, but my daughter is like into, right. Trump Train be in these chats. Right, sir. Trump Train be in these chats. Like his name is Trump Train Official. And he's always in the political chats. He be in these chats. And he told me, he said it in the room. So a couple of weeks ago, he was like, yeah, I'm 14. I'm like, boy, if you don't call your parents and tell them you you got dropped off at an adult party, Like I said, I don't talk about inappropriate things. So I have no problem with him really, staying. But at the same time, I don't, you know what I mean. I want to kind of just make sure that that his parents are aware and that there's an awareness there that these are adult conversations. That's all. That's all. Y'all, okay, so we're almost there. You know what, let me tell y'all, let me be very frank with y'all this morning. Um, my 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 ex-husband always said, you can't get into like discussions, read it like you know wrong. You know what I mean? So that's why I love you too, because discussion person, I'm a real behind, my words and whatnot. Um, but even with that still being said, there will be people that would literally read a comment and they'll be like, you know, they're talking to me as though I'm like over here masking up, and I'm like I'm really not. Like I know I get it. A lot of people online are interested in having a persona or being anonymous, but I'm just not one of them. And so to talk to me as though I'm one of them is like it's always I always have a problem with that. I have been doing in a chicken soup. So y'all, I am so sorry this morning. I have got to respond to something that you know what, I just don't appreciate. I just don't appreciate. So I'm responding to it. And then we are getting going. Thank y'all so much for rocking with me. Y'all know these readings don't take too long. I usually do about I do a few pages out of the chapter. I do think we're going to be ending chapter 1 today. Y'all might be like, chapter 1 ain't ended, Courtney. No. When you're reading, it does take long. That you always read aloud at a slower pace than what you read to yourself. And as a teacher, a former teacher, I'm still teaching though. As an educator, let's just put it that way. As an educator, that's a very interesting teach to students that than me reading it. But they like, y'all heard what Kamala said. We got a lazy generation, y'all. They all just want it read to them, and I'm like, if I read it too, be done most of this in a day. Um, hey, Cocoa Butter Barbie. Um, we are doing a live reading this morning of the novel. So I'm glad you got the link. You got the link because you're a mod, and I appreciate you. Definitely. Thank you so much for being in here this morning. Yeah, signals are usually wonky in the morning because since so many people are working from home, all of these competing Wi-Fi's is something else. So I have a Zoom date this afternoon, y'all. I'm so excited. My first time ever. Hey, Snuggles. Snuggles is here. So we know okay, yes. All of my people that cop the novel are getting this link. So that's what I was making sure of this morning, y'all. Before I got started on the reading, I wanted to make sure that was the case. So the same is true for me, you all. If my sound starts getting wonky, that is usually because y'all, because y'all know I'm feeling my new laptop, but I'm still getting familiar. But we've been playing great music. Oh my gosh! Can I tell you how many people were like, "Oh, I'm so glad you got you got a new you got a new laptop because that y'all I know that my other laptop it had problems with actual music, right? I think that you could know what songs were playing, and that's what I loved. But now it's working too good, y'all. I got blocked. I don't know if yeah, you guys were on. Naima was on last night. Sir was on last night. Jose, I know you came in late, but Cocoa Butter Barbie, you missed a really good one. We had a really good live last night, a glow after dark, and I had Run This Town playing in the beginning. Y'all, I got blocked. Y'all, we were already up to 10 she killed it yesterday. We were up to 100. Usually in the first 24 hours, I'll get like maybe 100 views. So we had almost, twice as much as that within a couple of hours. And YouTube blocked that thing. Well, not YouTube. Well, YouTube blocked it, but they did it because it was flagged from, I think, Universal. Universal gets me sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't, though. Which was funny because when I did the whole Drake thing, they flagged it. But later, laugh now, cry later. I came back the next day and put that thing going, and that didn't get flagged. So you already know. Yes, I, I, I did try to sign up for one, but that's what it was. Okay, so yeah, because remember, Snuggles, you were the one telling me that. So I can't. I have to wait. It's the same thing like with the Cash App. I can't download and I want to do it from the iPhone. I think that would make the most sense personally than doing it from the laptop because the, the laptop will only be like I'm not moving my laptop like how I did with the last one, which is all, all the moving and all the that's what happened. I don't yeah iPhone. Y'all, we about to get started. Y'all ready? Who is ready? Y'all ready? All right, we about to get started with this reading. Hi, Grand Rising NC worker. I know that, yeah, you know what? Check your email. Check your email. Um, we're doing a live reading this morning for patrons of my debut novel, Should Have Known Better. But definitely check your email. Okay, y'all, we're getting started. Hey, good morning, Asia. We are getting started on the my debut novel reading. Should have known better. This is the third one. So thanks for tuning in. Apologies, you guys. I'm trying to split screen it. Um, my son is still sleeping, but he had showed me. Well, he had done it, and I was trying to split screen it so I could put it up here while I'm reading, but I can't. I can't. I can't. I can't do what he did, y'all. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let me just do it the way I was doing it before. One moment. Okay. How do y'all want to do this? Do you want me to just recap what was read last time, or do you want me just to go right into it? Again, should have known better. You all, just a little history on this, because I know we do still have a couple of people here that have not copped the novel. This is my debut novel, so I wrote Should Have Known Better when I was still in my 20s. I was pregnant with my it was an absolute blessing. It was therapeutic. As you all know, um, um, I was in a new place and space. Okay, so when I was pregnant with my transition, were um, we had just moved to a new space. We just moved from Virginia. He had finished up the master's program at Virginia. So it was amazing how certain things tied in, because I promise you this book was like it. But if you have caught this book, then or if you are familiar with the book, if you've started reading prevalently in there, and when I tell you that that was 90% done by the time I always say writing is so. It was amazing how certain things came to fruition. I wrote about, not even knowing. Every one of you for being here this morning with this, and for those of you who couldn't get in here for the live reading, please let me know how your link is going. I did try to work out some kinks because I understand that YouTube's policies have changed. So, you know, even with me using people's pictures, even if they're going to be on the podcast or what have you, um, they're moving into some other. They're moving into some. They're moving into some new policies in regards to that. So I just, I'm still kind of wrapping my head around a lot of them, and I just am getting a lot of understandings of some of those policies, because a I do attend a class regarding them. So I'm just now getting the understanding of some of those policy changes. So like I said, I may not fully be adhering right now. So in order to save myself from it being snatched down, I am now doing a lot of private links. So this is a part of that. Hello, hello, Miss Page. Welcome, welcome. I can't wait for Thanksgiving break. Well, we're almost there. We're almost there. But like I told my daughter, she said, "Well, how long is Christmas break?" I said, "Christmas break is as long as you want it this year, thanks to COVID, y'all. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year." Okay, so let's start. Sound better. So we're gonna go over the summary or the synopsis. In the midst of losing herself, Camille Ebony is discovering the woman she was meant to be. In the blink of an eye, seemingly, her marriage, career, and life get rearranged. And when a cool stranger enters the mix, she realizes for the first time in her life that she is able to throw caution to wind and just be herself without any labels or duties attached. All things must come to an end, though, and once again, Camille finds herself taking on the requirements of wife and now mother. But when she is called upon to do one more favor, the journey to the heart of the matter continues, and she comes face to face with the realities of the girl she once was, the person she is wanted to be, and the woman she is. On the road to self discovery, Camille soon realizes there must be some casualties. All right. So, um, just to give you guys a little bit of a disclaimer, again, this book was written when I was in my 20s. This book does have some graphic scenes in regards to of the sexual nature. Um, do not be surprised. Also, I'm a writer, y'all. So there's some lifestyle and some slang that may not sound typical Glow Nation, right? But I thank you. hmm But I thank you for being here. Okay. Ooh. All right. Let me. Okay. Scroll up. Scroll up. I'm so sorry I couldn't share my screen with y'all. But again, thank you all for being here. I do appreciate it. This is the reading for Should Have Known Better. Okay. So the last line from the last reading reads, I coolly grabbed my LV bag and placed my hand on my bony hip. Have I ever? I asked, sliding the letter into the back compartment. I looked at the exit and sauntered out the door. I never looked back. I thought about opening the letter on the train, but I didn't want to break down and cry some heavy sobs. So I abandoned that idea and rushed inside the door. Fumbling for my keys, I left my bag in disarray, but as soon as I retrieved the letter, I sat down right in the corridor. The first time, the first line broke open the floodgates, and I was a sobbing mess. But I had to finish reading the letter, especially since giving Terrence the $200 I really didn't have. Huh. He said my thoughts exactly. I hope it's worth it. Dear Mill, is that ass still fat as everything? I know it is. I know you're looking good and taking care. I wish you would stop wearing that weave and fake hair and shit. But anyway, how are you doing? Do you miss me as much as I miss you? Do you still love me? I've been calling and calling, and your old number is disconnected. So it's been a couple of months now since I last saw you, and I'm going so crazy. I know I'm inside. Yep, I'm locked down. I was out the game, so this was over some real petty stuff. But hopefully, we will be able to talk soon. How's your family doing? Your sisters and nephews and family, they cool? My family is tripping as usual. No one has money or anything to help me get out of here, so I can only count on you. Oh my gosh. Remember when we could count on each other? I hate that we have to spend so much time away from each other, but I'm trying to make a life for you. I know that I could never give you what your husband did, though, so I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to do the best I can. But I need to get out of here first, Camille. And I need your help. I do. I hate to ask. Mm. I hate to ask, but I don't have the time to explain. I just need your help. I have a good case. I need you to get in touch with my lawyer for me. I know he won't want to be bothered and all, but I need his help. It's the same type of charges before, but more of them. I love you, but me and the lawyer have to take care of this business. And if he gets me off, well, I will probably go off and start over my life somewhere. I will miss you, but I definitely can't just stand it in here. If my lawyer can help me get out, then I will wish the best for you and your family and always love you. Don't forget that. And don't forget, we got a son to make. Love you, baby girl. Shannon Drummond. Was he serious? Sometimes we would joke around like that, but since the rest of his letter was so serious, I couldn't help but to think that he was being serious about this as well. I couldn't help but to think that he knew about Messiah too, and he was dead set on what he was asking of me. I didn't need to think 2 seconds before I realized what he was saying. He needed Malcolm to take his case. Damn. How was I going to pull this off? To top things off, he was asking Malcolm to get him off so he could let me go. So that was the catch. My head was reeling. I couldn't believe this. My back was literally against the wall with this dilemma. I wanted to help him. God knows I did. But I had to make the choice of helping him get out and possibly losing him forever, or let him stay in, allowing our secret love to remain a beautiful dream. That way I could replay all the good times and seldom think about the arguments and the drama we went through the past couple of years. Oh, damn, I know how legal activity played out, and I didn't have long to decide. I read and reread the letter again and again. I still wasn't sure if he knew how true those words were that he spoke. I was going to make sure that I gave Messiah a kiss that night. A kiss from his daddy? This was crazy. Not that I hadn't before thought about it, but tonight would be different, special. It felt like our spirits were uniting all over again because he knew. Even if he had just spoken those words without really knowing how true they were still true. And the fact that he could possibly know sent me into heaving sobs all over again. I had to collect myself to pick Messiah up from daycare. It was nearly 6 p.m. already. I changed into my pink Puma tracksuit and slipped on my Puma ballet sneakers before heading out. I slid the Ghostface CD in the slot and turned it up. Come through the block in a brand new Benz, knowing that me and that dude ain't friends. Okay, girl. You know what I did was whack, but you don't get a hater back like that. I thought about the night Messiah was conceived as I double parked on Broad Street and ran into the Broad Street Learning Academy. Naima greeted me at the front desk. Naima, oh my gosh, I just realized this is actually her name. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, he was a real good boy today, Mrs. Ebony. Oh, was he? I was smiling before I even saw him. I could feel my little soldier's presence as Fatima brought him out, holding him towards me so he could see me right away. He still had on a money green Sean John velour suit with his Jordans. I was glad to see that he didn't have any accidents today, but his backup outfit was an all black Team Jordan velour suit. I was secretly hoping to see him in that as well, and was somewhat expecting to have seen him changed into it when I got into the center. Only the best gear would do for my baby boy, which meant clothes. Sean and I were both fanatics, Jordan fanatics, so I always thought it was only fitting that I dressed him in the gear that both of us would love. He had Sean's dimples. Those Drummonds had strong guys. They kicked us Maxwell's butt when it came to that, I guess. Miss Ebony, remember we're going to be closed on Fridays to observe the end of Ramadan. Oh, yeah. Okay. Thanks, Naima. We'll see you tomorrow. I lifted Messiah's little hand to make him wave back through the door. Billy sure cools down amazingly fast. I pushed his Eddie Bauer diaper bag behind the passenger seat and strapped him into the carrier properly. He was so cute. I kissed his forehead and double checked the tightness of the straps as Malcolm had taught me to. Malcolm really amazed me with the little things that he informed me of the day we brought Messiah home. He knew all about the car seats and the proper way to position it. He also gave me a quick run through on how to unlock and enable and attach the car seat to it. I smiled and kissed my baby again, and he softly cooed. Drive was definitely being drawn out by the after work crowd and bad weather traffic. People needlessly switched lanes as though there was a magical zoom lane just inches ahead that I couldn't see. I didn't mind a long drive because I was never in a hurry to get home, not usually anyway, unless Messiah was crying. I appreciated the time to think about everything. What a crazy couple of years this has been. I'd really gone from no drama to drama overload in a matter of months. I was crazy, Seriously, I had to have it all: a career, a professional husband, parties, a hustling boyfriend, and now a child to show and give some type of justification to the fact that I've been living like a maniac on a marathon for the past year. I thought about the week that Messiah was conceived. I was convinced it happened just days after Sean's birthday, and Malcolm was home on bail. It was a crazy situation, but we were sexting everywhere we could because I couldn't have him at home. We were doing it at my job, at the doctor's office that he worked in, and of course, his mother's house. He wanted to get it a couple of times in the woods near my home, but I refused. I had some standards, please. I was not trying to get caught and arrested for that kind of nonsense. Never that. I checked my baby in the rearview mirror as my kick hummed. I fumbled with getting it out of my pocket. It was the radio station. I hoped they didn't need me to fill in for anyone tonight. I had to think about how I was going to handle this situation. And when I was at work, I became distracted so easily. I didn't want my work to become lax because of what was going on in my personal life. I always prided myself on being able to keep the two separate. But at the rate I was traveling, I was headed towards a head-on collision. I pulled into the parking lot and quickly got Messiah from his seat. Malcolm was home. I noticed his silver Impala in the lot. I took a deep breath as I entered our four-bedroom townhome. You must have been in some kind of crazy hurry, Cam, Malcolm said, peering over the top of his newspaper. His feet were propped up to the side of the center table. I noticed a familiar smell of hula hands filling my nostrils. I put your bag and everything upstairs on the bed. Your clothes were all over, but I didn't mess with those. I know how you don't like me picking up your stuff. Yep, thanks. You picked up dinner? I set Messiah down on the plush carpet floor and proceeded to the kitchen. No, I went for lunch. Well, me and Christina went for lunch. I just was warming up leftovers. I thought maybe you would get something for yourself while you were out. You seem to not cook at home anymore, so I don't know. I didn't know. He said it so nonchalantly as though it were an afterthought, but I knew better. Well, I was going to make some chicken and herb potatoes or something, but if you're full, then I would just make it another day or maybe tomorrow. Since Malcolm had returned home, even with the baby, we were almost like friends again, not a married couple. The passion was definitely void, and I know he just attributed it to his absence, but I knew better. I was purposely distancing myself because I miss Sean so much. Basically, for a year plus, I'd spent every day making him dinner, laying up with him, or getting bad Chinese from up the street. It was amazing to me when I thought about how easy I adjusted to life with Sean, but how hard it had become readjusting to life with Malcolm. It was hard to face. I lived with Malcolm. It was hard to face because I lived with Malcolm for 8 years. I should have been able to just pick right up with my husband, but I didn't want to, I suppose. Even with the baby, which he was doing a phenomenal job with, I just couldn't let go of the times that me and Sean had, as turbulent as they were. Would you mind bringing me my food from the microwave? Asked Sean as he folded down. Ugh. Would you mind bringing me my food from the microwave? Asked Malcolm as he folded down the paper and clicked on the TV. He immediately turned it to CNN. So, how are things with Christina? I asked casually. I didn't know how to take her. It was Christina Gregory's contract that landed Malcolm in jail. And in the time that he was in jail, she became Christina Fitzpatrick, getting married and the whole nine. She didn't spend a day in lockup. And he was in and off for almost 2 years behind that FBI probe nonsense. She was nice enough, always splurged for us, and she sent over enough outfits for Messiah that will make him surely not wanting for anything until he's at least 5. But I couldn't help but to think that she sold Malcolm out. She'd also been instrumental in getting me the job at City Hall when the magazine folded, but she was even ousted from that job. So when she left, I did also, attempting to be loyal. Whatever. She was working another plus job within weeks, and I was going broke hard and was about to leave Philly altogether when I met Shaheem, who put me on to bank scams and then I got the job at Survey Plus. It was imperative that I had two jobs. I had never even been with I had never been without Malcolm's contribution and Malcolm providing. And all of a sudden, and here I was scrambling to make ends meet. In Philly, most married couples even had two jobs to make ends meet, but I was basically flying solo. So I needed funds coming from every angle I could get them.
I still felt that way, even though Malcolm was back home now and taking cases again. The radio station didn't pay that much, and Shaheem was easing off of the bank scams lately. That was fine with me, though, since I had a lawyer. Uh, I'm sorry. I'm going to one moment. Yes, Brown Bird, this is my book. This is a live reading. Um, you have not copped the book yet, but please do. You were invited to it because this is something that I do for my private patrons. And Jose, you know, Malcolm did not leave nobody behind. Hello, he was murdered. Please do not disrespect the man, the legend, Malcolm X. Okay, I am a student of Malcolm X. You know this. All right, I'm continuing with the novel, everyone. So excuse me. I still felt the same way. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, I still felt the same way, even though Malcolm was home and taking cases again. The radio station didn't pay that much, and Shaheem was easing off of the bank scams lately. That was fine with me though, since I had a lawyer back in my house. I really wanted to distance myself from any illegal activities. But now with Sean's incarceration, I didn't know how things were going to stay distant. Christina is fine. She sends her best. She wants to know if you would like to come over Saturday. She and Marcus are hosting a little dinner at their house. It should be fun. I don't know with the baby and all. I will see if I have, and I have to see if I have to work. I said. Malcolm was now sitting on the floor with Messiah, who was doing his best to keep his bobblehead up and steady. He was really a sight. I went back to the kitchen and prepared a big glass of lemonade to serve Malcolm with his leftover chicken and garlic cream mashed potatoes from Houlihan's. I set them on the table. Who's in jail in North Carolina? Malcolm asked disinterestedly. He seemed as though he were only trying to make small talk, so I quickly obliged. Oh, Sean, remember the one I told you about from the doctor's office? You know, my friend? I said matter of factly. You have my letter? No, it just slipped from your bag as I was taking it upstairs. I put it back in your bag. What is he in jail for? Stupid shit, I said quickly. North Carolina. I won't want to be locked up down there. Well, I didn't want to be locked up anywhere, but the South, man, I hope your friend doesn't have it too rough. Why do you say that? Why do you say that? I asked a little too eagerly and nervously. Malcolm thought about his response before he answered. I could tell he was trying to. I could tell he was trying to uh, uh, spare my feelings as he weighed telling me something with legal jargon or regular layman terms. They typically give inmates a lot of time. That's all. They hand out football numbers, is what some of my former clients guy. You can expect to have a pen pal for a while. He didn't have his trial yet, so he hasn't been sentenced. I said hopefully. It doesn't matter. It's the South, and even though court-appointed attorneys try their hardest, there still are hundreds of other cases they have for a mouthful of chicken. So what are you saying? He doesn't have a shot at getting time served or something? I think he has been there for a while and he was doing pretty good with his life when he was out and he was up here and his stuff off like I was a defense table for Sean myself. Doesn't matter, Cam. It's just the way the South works. That's the reason why I wouldn't want to live there. Their laws are ancient. It's probably still legal to own slaves. So I would ever care to check the dockets. Malcolm laughed at his joke, but not a damn thing was funny. He could see I didn't find his comment humorous at all. I'm sorry, Cam. He came over to console me as tears were welling up in my eyes. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you something that isn't true, though. Don't let the situation get you down. Isn't that your sidekick going off? Shoot, I'd forgotten about the radio station's call earlier. I checked my voicemail. They indeed wanted me to come in for Luscious's lockdown show. I hated that show. It was tasteless, and all Luscious did was answer call after call from men that probably had one hand on the phone, bottle of baby oil, waiting for the right words to set in so they could play Ready, Set, Explode with their dicks. I didn't want to fall into that. I didn't want to fall into that category for tonight. but I definitely needed to get out the house. I called Kenya back to let him know I would fill in, took a long hot bath, fed Messiah, and put on some 7 jeans with a cream thick turtleneck, pulled on my Cavalli boots with a cream leather waistlet jacket, kissed Malcolm and Messiah goodnight, and got into my car. I slid the letter into my jacket pocket and vowed not to read it while I was at the station, but I just wanted it out of the house so that Malcolm wouldn't stumble across it again. He was never the nosy type, but I didn't want to tempt him, and I definitely appreciated that about him. I pulled around back to the employee parking lot. Security was on guard 24/7. You really couldn't be too sure, especially the crazy things that were steadily jumping off of radio stations these days. Leaving it on wax was no longer an option, it seemed. Hey, Lamont, what's good? Lamont nodded to acknowledge me. He never spoke. I never saw him be friendly with anyone but Kenya, but every now and then, when I bought in some Krispy Kreme donuts and he would silently take them, I was sure I would sure notice an empty cardboard box after when I exited the next morning. I got up to the station about an hour before my set, and that was good because I needed the prep time. I also needed to focus. I two-wayed Malcolm and asked if Messiah had gone to bed. He quickly wrote back, yes, and we miss you. I wrote back that I missed the two of them also. Dreams was finishing his set now. He was definitely not hard on the eyes, but I didn't even think about dudes like that anymore. For real. While being with Sean, he was the only man I thought of. I even stopped talking so much to my own father, and everyone knew how close I was to him. Sean had me whooped totally. He definitely wasn't a physically abusive man, but for some reason I always felt compelled to do what he said. I regretted it. I regretted it sometimes though, because he even insisted that I not go home when my dad was beaten up at his own wedding. He had married a white woman named Pauletta, and her family members didn't approve. They showed up at the last minute at the wedding, disrespectfully late, and made a lot of loud and rude comments. Since none of my immediate family was there or attended the wedding, the bride's family took full advantage, and after the first dance, a fight broke out that landed my dad in the hospital with a concussion and stitches. One of the brothers had broken a beer bottle on him. Wanted to go. I'd wanted to go, but Sean insisted I wasn't one by flying down to see my dad because it wasn't life threatening. He also said it would embarrass my dad a lot for his youngest daughter to see him in such a way. I agreed, but I still felt that Sean just didn't want me to spend any money just in case he needed it. And sure enough, it didn't take long for my prediction to manifest. Camille, you were just going to spend $400 on a plane ticket to see your beaten down daddy, but you're telling me now you don't have it so I can get my mechanic's license? What? Are you kidding? Sean, you have a perfectly good job at the doctor's office. I told you I don't want to do that forever. The mechanic school is offering a special that may not be there in a few months. I'm doing this so we can have a better life. What's wrong with you? Don't you know that? Don't I know what? Are you crazy? You don't help with bills or anything. And now I'm supposed to fund your career choices shifts when you know I have things I want to do with my money. Like what, Camille? I want to start my own magazine, Sean. I've told you that before. Listen, that is nothing for a respectful woman to do. If you wanted to start your own daycare or something, I would support you. Or even start your own church, which I know takes a lot of money. But it's tax free, so you'll get everything written off, and you can get that money back. But what is it with you and writing? It's really stupid, Camille. And anybody can be a writer. Your sister Evelyn is right. That's a waste of a degree. Well, since you got all the answers of what is a waste of degree and whatnot, why don't you take your mechanic's license and wipe your butt with it? Because that's all it will be worth. You got a real foul mouth. You know that? You have a real problem with your mouth. The only problem I have with my mouth is letting your dick go in it. I hurled an unlit candle at him. He moved out the way just before it hit the wall with a thud. All right, y'all. That is it for today. That's it for today. Um, okay. So as you all can see or can hear or can read, Camille is struggling with balancing things now that Malcolm is back home. And Sean is locked up, and she just learns of Sean's case. Sean's case. So she's been without communication with him for a few months. So she just has learned from his brother through a letter from Sean that he is in fact in prison, well, in jail, and he needs real help in order to get out. So he calls on Camille, who is just so happens to be married to a lawyer, and that's where it's at. And that's where it's at. So, wow, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Um, Again, if you have not gotten a copy of the novel, please know that you got invited to this live because you're a mod. If you are able, if you are able, please email me. If you're able to make a purchase today, please email me because I definitely want to work with you all. It is not a lot of money, but as you know, I am very aware of this is a stress time for a lot of us, so to speak. So I definitely appreciate that. Yes, I am single. I am single. I've been single for some years now, single and celibate for some years now. But again, I want to thank you all for attending today. This was fun. I really enjoy having this time with you all. If anyone has any questions regarding the novel, if any of you want to sell the novel links, I do work on specials for that as well. So if you feel like you can't afford it, but you want to commit to selling it, or you want to commit to, I'm setting up a very special review opportunity for the novel. So, I'm setting some people, arranging for some people to start doing the readings, and those same people to start doing the reviews. And we're going to do a really special Q&A event. So please, 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 um, email me. You guys know my email. Let me post it just in case. But I really appreciate you guys being here today. And thank you, Men Need Knowledge. Yes, yes. I you know what? I definitely agree with you, but I need more than a good man. I'm looking for a husband. I'm ready to be a wife again. So a husband. I think that there's a saying, the road to hell is paved with many good men. I believe that. I believe that. But a husband is the commitment that I'm seeking again. I was married years ago. Been divorced for 8 years now. Been single for 6 years now. But I definitely hear you, and I appreciate your sentiment. So again, if you want the novel, if you want to, because like I said, I'm going to read slower than you ever will. But thank you all for being here today. Throw up your glowers, and please, please, please realize you know, whoever does take me up on this opportunity to go on this journey with Camille, please do realize that this book was written when I was in my 20s, y'all. I was in my 20s when I wrote this book, y'all. So I have grown, and as Erica Badu said, y'all know us artists, we are sensitive about our ish. We sensitive. So fortunately, I have grown a lot as a writer since this novel. But that's why even sometimes when I'm reading it, it's hard for me because I'm just like, wow, I wouldn't say a lot of this stuff now. I promise y'all, I wouldn't say a lot of this stuff now. Um, but like I said, I wrote this book in my 20s. I wrote this book in my 20s. So please reach out to me if you feel like you want to get the novel, but it's too much. Again, I have different set prices depending on the platform that you're purchasing the novel through. So if you are selling it, it's 10. If you are cash apping, it's 12. If you are Western Unioning it, it's 25. But it's emailed to you in all different platforms. No matter which way you pay, it's emailed to you. You get it directly as soon as I, get the notice that the payment is in. I email you over the copy of the manuscript, and you go from there. Okay, so until next time, I got to get ready for. I have a Zoom lunch, you all. Not a date, but a Zoom lunch, a Zoom brunch with a new member of Glow Nation. We're gonna have a little lunch together on the Zoom. So I got to get ready for my date. So or my I got to get ready for my meeting. It's a female, so I don't call it a date. But should I? Am I being sexist by because it's a female and there's I don't go that route per se. Am I being sexist by saying it's not a date? Because it is a date. It's a meeting. We're having a brunch. We're having a girl chat. Um, but yeah. So until next time, y'all know what to do. Glow.